My team winning and everybody in first place. Raise your glass, let's celebrate. Own lane in your own race. Why you got such a sad face? Not up to me, you chose your fate. It's a long way going down. All I can do is say congratulations. All you niggas do is smile and hate. But how can you hate when you can't relate? I ain't got time, I got moves to make. Cross the finish, not shake and bake. I don't know what to do with my hands. Look at this money and dance. Oh, man. She like, give me one more chance. All I do is give her cash. She get the cash, she drop it so fast. She on the pole, she doing her dance. I'm like, mommy, come give me that stance. I'm like, put back and she like, I don't give a fuck, she rockin' my neck. She got hair, she don't go outside. Take the girl, they be rockin' her back. She never.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome to another edition of Who Got Game. I hope you're all doing well and avoiding health and safety protocols. My name is Jason Zone Fisher, and I'm joined, as always, by Pavy. Pavy's World in the house. What's up, Pavy?
How you feeling?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm feeling good. It was my birthday the other day.
Happy birthday.
Another year. I went to like a little getaway with the wife to like Laguna area. I never really spent much time down there, but it's only like an hour and 15 minutes away from LA, and it just like feels like a different vibe. It's nice. It's good over there. It was cool. It's a quick getaway, but it was nice, and I feel recharged. It's weird having a birthday right at the start of the year because it kind of gets like coupled in with all the other holidays, but it does help me set my intentions for the new year. It's like a new year of my life. I'm feeling good about all that. Yeah. New year, same me. Same me.
New year, same you.
Yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. Thank you all for joining us for another edition of Who Got Game. In a couple minutes, we'll be joined by one of the point guards himself, the one and only Baron Davis. You may hear him, actually. Here he comes right now. He's coming through. He's rolling calls. He's making moves. He invests in a million things. Can't keep track of everything that BD does, but he'll be joining us here on Who Got Game in a couple minutes. We're going to recap everything that's been going down in the NBA over the last week since we were last up here with you. A lot going on, Patty, including this past week we got two returns. We got Kyrie Irving came back for the Brooklyn Nets.
He's
there on the road. And Klay Thompson played for the first time in 941 days. Yeah. It's good to see Klay back out there.
Good to see Klay.
Which player do you think is going to make the bigger impact for their team this season?
Bigger impact?
Kyrie or Klay? And Kyrie, keep in mind, only plays in 50% of the games just on the road.
I'm going to say Klay from the sheer standpoint of he's there every night.
Okay.
Kyrie just isn't there every night. Like, he came back. He looked great against Indiana. Took him out for, like, maybe a quarter to, like, get back in the rhythm. Then, like, by the time, when they, like, started to make their run, because they were down, I think they were down, like, 15. They made their run. He was fully back looking exactly like Kyrie.
Yeah.
But I'm going to say Klay from the sheer standpoint of he'll be there every day. He'll be there every day, practicing every day with the team every day. So I'm going to say Klay Thompson. And Klay looked good. I didn't fully see the whole game, but Klay looked good. He looked good.
I mean, he had a posterized dunk, and he had some threes. He put up a lot of shots. He looked confident out there.
He looked like Klay.
He did. It was good to see him back out there again, for sure. The NBA has definitely missed having Klay Thompson out there. So
for sure.
I'm not a Warriors fan by any means, but I do root for him, and I'm glad to see him healthy.
For sure.
But, you know, the Brooklyn Nets, they had a 3-game losing streak. They get Kyrie back. They were losing most of the game to the Indiana Pacers, and then they came back in the fourth quarter, led by Kyrie, to win that game. However, on the 2 nights later, Friday, they had a big game against the Milwaukee Bucks at home, and they got stomped. So how much of an issue do you think this is going to be, that Kyrie's in the lineup and out of the lineup? And it looks like two different teams, home and away. Yeah. That's even before Kyrie came back. The Brooklyn Nets record, they're just 11-10 at home. I think like 14-3 on the road or something like that, 13-4. They're a totally different squad. How big of an issue is it going to be having Kyrie just 50% of the time?
I mean, it's a huge issue. I mean, it's also not just Kyrie. Like, I actually forgot they have Joe Harris missing too.
Yeah.
Joe Harris is having ankle surgery. So we talk about two starters who, again, defensively, I know they've been better at times this season, but they're still an offensive team. So you take two of your best offensive players away who are starters, it hurts. And again, you don't like. For basketball, that's something to be said for camaraderie and rhythm. I don't really understand how you gain rhythm, especially when you have no – see, Klay and Dre and Steph have been playing together for like 7-8 years now.
Right.
So they have an installed rhythm already.
Yep.
Kyrie, KD, and Harden, like we said last time, they played how many games together? 10?
Yeah.
It's not – they don't have much on-court time to draw from. So I think it's a huge issue. It's a huge issue, man. Like, you need rhythm. And, again, we're in January. Playoffs start in April. That's what, 3 months? He only gonna play. I think he's eligible to play in 25 games. If he even plays all 25 games.
Sure.
I don't really understand how you get rid of him, in my personal opinion.
Well, we'll see. We'll see if he gets vaccinated, spending more time with the team and his teammates, and he wants to be out there. You never know. Maybe he has a change of heart. He said he's taking it a day at a time. Things could change. But with all the factors that we know today, which are still a lot out there, Philadelphia's 76ers, they've been winning games, but their roster might not be complete.
For
given
sure.
the Ben Simmons situation. We haven't seen the Miami Heat fully healthy. Bam Adebayo's been out. Jimmy Butler in and out of the lineup, but they had a big win against the Phoenix Suns the other night, snapping their win streak. And the Suns, who have the best record in the NBA, tied with the Warriors. Who is your team to beat in the East between the Milwaukee Bucks, the defending champs? You got the Nets we talked about, Philly, Chicago, and Miami. Those seem to be the top 5 in the East. Who do you think will be the last team standing in the Eastern
Bucks.
Conference?
I mean, but I said this for 2 years. The Bucks. The
Yeah.
Bucks. I mean, they're the defending champions. You had the best player in the league. I think the only thing for them is like Brook Lopez. I think that is something that they will miss. But again, you could just slide Giannis to center and put Bobby at the 4 and just do that. And I think that's still and again, I think winning last year, something has to be said for winning. Like, I think that just gives you an incredible level of confidence. Like, I mean, Giannis had one of the best closeout games we've ever seen anyone have, in my personal opinion.
Yep.
So the confidence that you get from that, Middleton gets, Holiday gets, I think that they're still the best team in the East. I think they're arguably the best team in the league still, in my personal opinion. So if I had to pick
Chicago
somebody,
Bulls
I
in the
would say
building.
Bucks.
Chicago Bulls in the building. I don't care what you say. You've been hating on us all season. You from Chicago and you don't root from Chicago. Can't rock with that.
TPJ, our producer / half of Hoops and Brews over there, always got to come in with the hot take / the homer take.
Homer
repping the
take.
Chicago Bulls.
Why is it a homer take? Are we
Because
Did we not have
the
the best
Chicago
record
Bulls,
in the East? Did we not get ravaged by COVID?
You've been playing great.
I'm
The
asking
Bulls
you a
have been
question.
playing great.
Did we not get ravaged by COVID?
But
Do
I
we
have
not
a
have the
theory.
best record in
But
the
I have,
East?
hold
I'm
on,
just
wait,
saying.
pause, Thomas. TP, I have a theory that helped because you did get 2 weeks. They did get 2 weeks off in the middle of the season. Like, the thing about COVID is it's not
With
like
an illness,
listen,
bro.
Yes, but like, listen, no, you get to rest. Like, I've seen even when Harden came back on Christmas, he looked like he was in much better shape.
Yeah. Joel
Post-COVID.
Embiid, how he
yeah,
came
like
back,
they look like they're in much better
So
shape
losing
post COVID.
COVID weight.
Right.
Then
Losing
so
COVID weight.
again, though they got.
So you recommend that COVID diet?
I don't recommend a COVID diet.
Yeah,
If you can stay away from the COVID diet,
Okay.
stay away from
Yeah,
it. But they did get 2 weeks off in the middle of the season that nobody
God.
else got.
Oh
You got 2 weeks off and you got a chance to rest your body that nobody else got. Now, I'm not saying that's why they're the best team in the East. I think they're the best team in the East because they're the best team in the East.
And they are.
They
Third
arguably
best
have
record in the league.
Currently,
Let's go.
Currently, they arguably have the best duo in the league currently. But I still think the Bucks are the best, are the team to beat in that conference. And I think, in my opinion, I think the Bucks and the Heat, if the Heat can ever actually get on the court.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, like you said, Jimmy been out, Bam been out, Victor Oladipo hasn't even played all
Sure.
year. So they've been in and out the lineup. But if the Heat can get healthy, I think the Heat and the Bucks are the two best teams in the Eastern Conference.
It's kind of hard for me to argue with that. A lot of people would say the Nets are in that conversation just if you can get Kyrie, Harden, and KD on the floor together. That's, feels unstoppable. But I'm a little skeptical about some of their role players and pieces. Outside from Patty Mills, I feel like he is the X factor. Patty Mills, as he goes, when he plays incredible, I think this team could win it all. And then on nights where he disappears or they're not getting the role players to show up, I'm a little worried about Brooklyn in the long run. Well, you talked about the Chicago Bulls. TPJ says they're the team to beat in the East. They had won 8 games in a row, but they just had that win streak snapped last night by the Dallas Mavericks.
They had won 9 in a row. And
It was
then
9 in a row.
It was 9 in a row.
Sorry.
Soon to be 10. First 10-game streak probably in a couple decades, but we didn't get it.
Well, but that didn't happen, unfortunately, because they lost to the Dallas Mavericks. And the Mavs have a nice little win streak of their own. As now Luka is healthy. He got a triple-double last night. I think Dallas has won 6 games in a row. How for real could this Dallas Mavericks team be? They're a team that we don't really talk much about. They've been underperforming so far. Seems like they're starting to pick it up. They're rumored to be interested in the market for a guy like Miles Turner, perhaps. Maybe
That'd be great for them.
Sabonis, one of these pieces from the Pacers. If they're able to add somebody like that, either one of those guys, do you think they could kind of go up a notch into that contender category and ranking?
Contender, I don't know about that, but I definitely think this is. One, you have Luka. Like in any series you play, Luka can arguably be the best player on the court. Also, KP, I like KP. KP isn't. I think people harp like the Dirk comparisons on him immediately, and he's not that, but he's still a really, really good player. Even like last season, it was a down year. He still averaged 20 points on like 45%. I mean, you would want it better because he's 7'3" with 45% shooting.
For sure.
Anthony Edwards even said he's one of the best rim protectors in the in the league. So I think they can be really good. Like, and when you look at the West, I mean, you have 3 teams, right? If you even consider 3, I really think you have 2 teams, and then you have the rest of them. But you have Utah and you have Memphis. I think they can be right up there with those teams. Why not?
Yeah.
I think they can be right up there with those teams without a signing. They just need to get healthy, get on the court, play with each other, and like I said, in most series, you already had the best player on the court, so you can't ever discount that.
I do think they need to make a move. They're one of these teams that, like, over this next month before the deadline, they need one more piece, whether it's more shooting, more defense, more.
I think they can use backcourt help. I just think they can use somebody to like just get Luka off the ball a little bit.
Yeah.
Like backcourt. I like Brunson. I really like Brunson.
I like him too.
I think Brunson is probably your 6th man.
Yep.
I don't know if you want to depend on him. Like even like a guy like, I mean, I don't know what the Wizards are doing, but Bradley Beal, I think that would be great for them. I mean, I don't know how you get him, but I think that would be great for them or something like that. Just backcourt help, just to. I can throw this person the ball. They can go get it themselves.
They really miss Seth Curry. He would fit in great.
I don't know why
team.
they let Seth Curry go.
I know, because
you had
it's really perfect.
Arguably the best, well, not arguably, this is a fact. They had the best offensive rating in NBA history. Lean in, bro.
Right, yeah.
Lean in, get more offense, bro.
I don't understand that. He really feels like he's the perfect piece for a team like that, and they had him too. Well, you mentioned the Memphis Grizzlies, because they're one of the hottest teams in the NBA. They just won their 8th and 9th in a row. They got a 9-game win streak.
I saw him play the Clippers.
Yeah, and what were your thoughts on that? Getting to see them up close. Ja didn't play that game, but he played last night against the Lakers. They got that big win, too. They're probably the hottest team in the NBA right now, up to 4th place in the Western Conference. We knew that they had like a good young core, but I don't think anyone predicted them to have the 4th best record in the West at this point in the season.
I just think they just have a good team, and they have a good team. They seem to all like each other. They're all pretty much around the same age, so I'm sure they hang out together. They seem like a very close-knit group. They play at a great pace.
Yeah.
And also I think with Ja being out, I think it helped them in the sense of they move the ball around really well.
Yep.
Like the ball doesn't really stick too much. Like Ja does what he does, but it's not like he's pounding the ball completely into the floor. And, their defense also got better.
Yeah.
At the beginning of the season, their defense was a little bit in. Recently, the defense has been really good. I still think they probably need a wing if they want to become a championship team. But, yeah.
Well, we were just missing one piece, too, to becoming a championship show, and we just got that piece at the trade deadline. Here he is, the one and only, BD, Baron Davis. Where am I supposed to be sitting?
That's Pavy C.
This is Pavy C? What, am I in the middle? We did a little redecorating, BD. Yeah.
Shout out to Liv Otter.
Shout out to Can. Yes, we can.
No, shout out to Liv Otter for
the furniture.
That's what I mean. We upgraded, man.
Okay.
We supposed to have our little table right here. We can't put our table right here, let people see what we got going on. Yeah, ain't nobody walking through. Let's set up our spot, man. Let me get this, man.
Okay.
Yeah, man. Hey, I got us some new furniture.
Okay, let's go.
Look at that. Hey, it's easy to lift. Look at this, man. It's easy to lift. The furniture you're sitting on is made out of
it's beautiful.
Like a microplastic fiber. There we go. There we go.
Okay.
There
Just
we
a
go.
very comfortable.
It is very nice.
Look, it is crazy, dude.
It's very
and it's
comfortable.
rainproof.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. Shout out to my boy Ali, who came over here for one of our events, and he was like, "Man, I gotta hook y'all up, with some outdoor furniture,
Yeah.
For the podcast and all that." Because I was like, "Yo, we want to be outside
For sure.
and if I go furniture shopping, I'm gonna come back with some janky shit,
Yeah, right.
or I'm gonna come back with some shit that's like too expensive for this place, and then like it's gonna get fucked up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
And so this is like the perfect style design.
It's
You know what I
comfortable,
mean?
too.
It's comfortable.
Yeah.
This is like the shit, man. So I just want to give a shout out to Liv Outer, liveouter.com.
Yeah,
this is fire.
you.
Especially with the summer coming and shit. You don't want to be on no couch, you know, and that shit be like hella hot and all that.
Yeah.
It's like, man, come on.
This breeze
We
is
out here.
nice. That's right.
We upgrade.
Nice.
Let's go.
Who Got Gang got a sponsor. Shout out to our sponsor. Ring the bell.
Bing,
Ding,
bing,
ding, ding, ding.
bing. Okay, all right. We appreciate you. Thank you, Liv Otter. We outside. We were just talking about what's been going on inside the NBA over the last week, and the hottest team in the league right now is the Memphis Grizzlies. They just won their 9th straight game. They swept the Clippers and the Lakers. Ja Morant, should he be in the MVP conversation the way that he's playing right now?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. He's a show. He's been dominating. I think right now, you know, they're the hottest team, so you know he deserves the way he's playing to have those accolades. You know what I mean, and to be in that conversation, in that discussion.
All right, let me put you guys on the spot and ask you this, because we were talking about the Chicago Bulls before this too. They've been one of the hottest teams in the Eastern Conference. They just had their long win streak snapped by the Dallas Mavericks, but they've been led by your boy DeMar DeRozan from here in LA. At the end of the day, when the MVP voting comes out, who should finish higher in that race, Ja Morant or DeMar DeRozan?
It's gonna be hard to tell. You know what I mean? We too early. We got to be talking about all-star.
Okay.
How these dudes are bona fide all-stars, shoe in for all-stars, MVP candidates.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And when it get close to the stretch, down the stretch, then we gonna be able to have this debate.
Okay.
You feel what I'm saying? It's
early.
hard to. Yeah, it's too early to have this debate because when you start thinking about all the other people, you know, DeMar is playing at a high level MVP candidate. Ja Morant is playing at a high level MVP candidate. Giannis, you know what I mean? MVP candidate. LeBron, you know what I mean?
He got to win some more games.
Yeah, but he back in the discussion. They starting to win now.
Yeah, they
you know
won
what I'm
4 in a row.
saying?
They lost last night, but yeah,
But they starting to win.
for sure.
Donovan Mitchell. You know what I mean? He deserves to be his name mentioned in that the way he been killing.
Yeah.
Who else am I missing?
Joel Embiid.
Joel Embiid, Jokic. You know,
Steph.
Steph for sure.
Yeah.
Right? So let's get really, really for real about, you know, it's gonna be a race. It's gonna be a killer race this year. You feel what I'm saying? For MVP, and like, you know, it's another person that's gonna emerge at some point.
For sure.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Should I stop talking? You keep laughing and shit.
No, I'm laughing because Sanaa's trying to get you right
All
now.
right.
Yeah. Well, BD will be back in a second.
I'll answer the question.
All right,
my
you
personal
answer
opinion. If the season had to end right now, I would say Ja Morant. Reason being is I love DeMar. I think DeMar has been incredible, but we just conveniently ignore as a person called Zach
No,
LaVine.
keyword, I just hate.
No.
Exactly.
No,
You
listen,
just
no,
hate.
listen.
You
No,
just hate.
Listen.
You just hate.
We just conveniently ignore
Yeah.
that Zach LaVine is literally averaging 26 points right next to him.
That's true. Almost the same stats.
Almost the exact same stat line. And I'm sure, I haven't looked at his percentages, but he's probably close to 50, 40, 90. We just conveniently ignore that. I know DeMar has hit some incredible
He's hit the game winners, right?
But like we just conveniently ignore that there's a man right next to him in the same backcourt who's doing basically the exact same thing.
Yeah.
So if I had to pick one person out of those two, I would pick Ja Morant. I understand Ja, missed a couple games and they was on their winning streak, but still, when you look at the engine
How can you say
of the
that though?
team,
They
it's
went
Ja
on an
Morant.
8-game win streak without him.
Okay.
But you telling me he's over DeMar DeRozan?
Yes.
That makes no sense, bro.
Because again, you have somebody else who's average. I can't do that.
And Zach LaVine is shooting 49, 41, and
That's
86.
incredible.
Okay, it is. But
That's
he's still
almost
not the
50,
best
40,
player on the
90.
team.
I don't agree with that. They're about even.
They're not about even.
They're about even.
How are they about even when one guy's doing
They're about
really
even.
good?
DeRozan has had the edge this season, I think, because the game winners and his stats are slightly better. But
I
they're very
think
close.
because of the game winners.
No.
DeMar's shooting 49.1% from the field goal range this year.
They're
35% from 3, 85% from the free throw line. What
I
you
think
talking
you
about?
just named higher percentages for Zach LaVine.
No,
3.
Zach LaVine. Zach LaVine he's shooting 0.1% from the field goal range better than DeMar. He's
They're about
shooting better
even.
from 3.
They're about even.
No, he's not. DeMar's
They're
more
about
efficient. DeMar's more efficient.
How?
He literally has a higher efficiency rating than
All
Zach
right,
LaVine.
well, both of them deserve to be all-stars.
Higher win shares. What are you talking about?
And Zach LaVine.
More points per game, more rebounds per game.
It's barely
Point
more.
four,
It's,
point
it's
four
oh-
assists less.
It is 0 point something more points per game.
And it's so what? So what?
They're about even, bro.
They're not even.
They're about
One
even.
guy's the leader, one's not.
They're about even.
Well, we're going to start talking about the All-Star game, as BD mentioned, and who's deserving to be in there. Let's talk about some guards in the Eastern Conference because we know DeMar
talk about your
DeRozan
boy.
and Zach LaVine deserve to be there. If one of these three guys makes the All-Star team, who should it be? LaMelo, Darius Garland, or Fred VanVleet? One guy. Who?
LaMelo Ball, because
you-
the All-Star game is about stars.
You have to reward winning, I think. So Darius Garland.
I'm saying Darius Garland,
Darius
too.
Garland.
And the game's in Cleveland. I like
Darius
that.
Garland.
I think Darius Garland, he's got the Cavs winning. But Fred VanVleet, he's the Eastern Conference Player of the Week right now.
He's been balling.
too.
He's
been
been
balling, too, averaging
he
over 30.
has been balling, and the Raptors have been playing much better.
Yeah.
The Raptors are a team that, like, I wouldn't want to play them in the first round.
Right.
I
No,
think that's
for
a
sure.
very annoying first-round matchup to play the Toronto Raptors.
Definitely.
You know what? I'll change my mind. I'm going to go with VanVleet. He averaging 22 points, 5 rebounds, 6.7 assists, 44.2% from the field goal range, 40.9% from the three-point line, 89.2% from the free throw line. His effective field goal is 55.3, and his PER is 20.6, which is a higher one than
What's
Zach.
Garland's stats on the season?
Garland's
Pull
season,
those up.
Garland's stats on the season are 19.6 points per game, 3.6 rebounds, 7.2 assists, shooting 47.1% from the field goal range, 38.6% from the three-point line, 90.4% from the free throw line, 55.6% is his effective field goal range, but he's much less more inefficient than Fred VanVleet.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's tough. It's a tough call. I'm definitely biased because being a Cavs fan, I think Darius Garland deserves to be an All-Star this year. He's taken a huge leap, but we'll see. There's still, a few more weeks for that all to pan out, but there's going to be a lot of good players who don't make the cut for the All-Star team this year who feel like they're probably deserving of being there. That was just like one of the debates that I see coming down the pipeline. There's a lot of talented guards in the East, and there's only going to be room for a couple of them. All right, let's talk about some other squads in the East. We mentioned the Philadelphia 76ers, and Joel Embiid has entered the MVP conversation in that race because they've now won 6 in a row, and they've vaulted all the way up to 5th in the Eastern Conference. Yet we don't really talk about Philadelphia as a true contender in the East yet, along the lines of Miami, Milwaukee, Brooklyn, Chicago even maybe. And probably a big reason is that their other all-star, Ben Simmons, is not on the team right now. He hasn't suited up, played a game. So what do they do with the Ben Simmons situation? There's a report that the Sixers' first option is to convince him to come back. I don't see how that's going to possibly work out, especially when they've been fining him and he's been losing money and that whole debate. I think they're going to have to trade him, but where do they trade him to? There's another rumor and report out there that the Atlanta Hawks might be interested because the Hawks,
which is hilarious, by the way.
Well, the Hawks were in the Eastern Conference Finals last year. They're 17-22 right now in 12th place in the East. They're not getting it done. So do they make a move? Maybe John Collins, his name has come up. They've got a lot of other pieces like Bogdanovich or Cam Reddish. There's other guys. If they are able to swing a move like that, does it help Philly enter into the title conversation?
I mean, I still think personally the move is Portland. I mean, number one.
For CJ?
Yeah, for CJ, because Dame might be out for the season.
Right.
Maybe. There's a rumor they're going to see how he, I think it's an abdomen thing. He
Yep.
apparently needs surgery. He's had it for a minute, but he needs surgery.
Really?
But
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, he might be out for the season.
What's the lottery pick going to do for them this year? That's an honest question, not a
I mean,
debating
hopefully,
question.
hopefully you draft right and you get some more talent in. Hopefully. I mean, but again, maybe it's easier to swing the move.
Right.
For CJ now, obviously you see Dame, if he really is out for the season,
Yep.
you gotta think he's 31 years old now. I think he's 31 years old now.
Yeah.
You maybe want to get a young star in there to pair with him and somebody switch the lineup around. But in my personal opinion, Philly has to stop playing with this situation.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you have a team where if you get a guy in there, you have why can't you be the best? Like, why can't you make the finals?
Right.
If you get a guy, like, you have the team.
You have Embiid in his prime.
And then when people think about Philly and them falling short,
Right.
okay, they lost semifinals last year. Okay, the year before, Ben Simmons was hurt in the bubble and they lose first round. But Ben Simmons wasn't there, and you lost the team with the conference finals. I forget what happened the year before, but
The year before that was the
the
Kawhi Leonard
you
crazy
literally,
miracle shot.
Like, if that shot doesn't go in, you might be in the finals.
Yeah.
So basically, stop playing with the situation.
Right.
Go get some help in there. I understand you maybe don't like how the situation's going. You want to play hardball a little bit, but get some help in there and do not waste Joel Embiid's prime.
There's another rumor that the Sacramento Kings, because they just keep losing and they're not working, that they may make either Tyrese Halliburton or De'Aaron Fox available in a trade as well. Would you think it'd be in the better interest for Philly to target one of those kind of guys for Ben Simmons and get that point guard spot?
I mean, I would prefer a vet personally.
Yeah.
Just because I think if you're Philly, you're going for it right now. I don't want anybody who has a learning curve. But if that is what you can get, cool. I'm saying just get some help in there.
Get something.
Man. Just get some help in there. Like, you have a guy, number one, taking up $20 million in cap room.
Yeah.
Who's not there.
Right.
Like, if he was on the court helping you, it would be something different, but he's not there. He's not helping you. Like, you have to look at the situation and think, like, man, if we just get one more guy that's even comparable to this. And you look at the East as well. Like you said, they had a COVID issue.
Right.
They're fifth in the East. You look at the top teams. Why do I think I can't beat them? Get some help in there and seriously try to contend. So whoever you can get, bro, I don't care who it is. Just get some help in there.
Yeah, Daryl Morey really seems just like strong-willed and determined not to sell short on Ben Simmons.
Apparently, he upgraded his list to 25 players. I think they said he upgraded his list to 25 players that he would do it straight up for.
Really?
Yeah, or 25 players that he would just trade Ben Simmons for. Get some help in there, bro.
Yeah, well,
I don't care who it is. Just get some help in there.
We'll see. And then a lot of the Pacers, they keep losing, but they've got a lot of talent on that team. A lot of those guys, their names have come up from Sabonis and Miles Turner to Karis LeVert as possibly being available. You got Jeremy Grant from the Pistons. He's hurt right now, but he's supposedly available as well.
Be a good get for the Bulls, in my personal opinion.
Oh, it'd be good for the Bulls.
Yeah, the Bulls. I think Jeremy Grant and Harrison Barnes would be a good get for the Bulls.
Yeah, so I feel like a lot of deals are going to go down. The only two trades have happened so far this season is Rajon Rondo went from the Lakers to the Cavs, and Bol went from the
Bol got traded?
Bol got traded to the Pistons.
When was this?
Yesterday.
That happened?
Yeah, it happened. Bol is no longer a Denver Nugget. He's now on the Detroit Pistons, and Detroit said they're going to give him some
good for
minutes,
Bol,
which is good because
good
I'm always impressed when I see Bol play. His skill set, he's a fun player, man.
Yeah.
He blocks shots. He hit threes. He's even got some ball handling skills for his size. So I'm excited to see him hopefully get some more minutes in Detroit, who's clearly in rebuild mode, and see what he can do. Yeah, so that happened yesterday. So some smaller moves, but there's going to be some bigger moves certainly in the next couple of weeks. Is there one guy, aside from Ben Simmons, that you want to see in a new place, a new home, before this season is done?
That I want to see in a new home?
Yeah, like it's time to mix it up. Let's get him somewhere else.
I mean, Justice is on my mind right now. Actually, Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal. You look at the Wizards, I think they've fallen basically to what they are. This is like a borderline play-in team.
Right.
Bradley Beal's contract is coming up.
Yep.
I don't know if he'll be eligible for the Supermax because I don't know if he'll make All-NBA this year.
Yeah.
But he's going to get a max contract.
Yeah.
So it's like, I think eventually Washington has to trade him. Even if you trade him next year, you sign him to a deal and trade him kind of like how the Clippers did with Blake.
Yep.
I think you have to trade him. Like, you're never going to be good enough to be an elite team, but you're never going to be bad enough to get really good.
Yep.
To get a chance at a top pick to get really good.
Yeah.
So I think Bradley Beal and I think Bradley Beal could, like I said, swing some team season.
Yeah.
Some team. I think Bradley Beal could completely swing some team season. So Bradley Beal would be the guy for me that I would like to see get moved at the deadline. It's been very quiet in Washington.
Yep.
Like, you haven't really heard much about it.
True.
But Bradley Beal would probably be the guy that I would like to see finally get swung at the deadline, so he can go do something different, so the Wizards can go do something different as well.
It's really hard in the NBA to rebuild while still competing. It's a tough strategy that some teams try to employ to continue to compete while rebuilding. I feel like a better strategy in the modern NBA is to suck
immediately
for a couple of years
just
and just rebuild that way.
The only team I can, even if you want to call it successful, is the Celtics. I thought they were trying to rebuild the Celtics, and also the Raptors did it as well. I think in 2013, 14, I think they kind of exceeded what people thought they were going to do.
Sure.
And they kind of rebuilt while still competing.
Yep.
But like you said, it's very, very hard to do. The best way is just get really bad, 2-3 years,
Yeah.
and hopefully you on the way up after that.
for sure. Well, we'll see. The league could look a lot different in the next couple of weeks than it does today. So it'll be an exciting time to be an NBA fan and see if your team makes some moves and shakes it up based on where they are in the standings right now, who's going to be buyers, who's going to be sellers, and what's going to happen from there on out. Now, Pavy, you and TPJ, you guys both follow and cover the LA Clippers. You go to most of the games. You're following the team. There was a report in the last week that Kawhi Leonard is ahead of schedule in his rehab, and there's a chance that he'll come back sooner than expected from his injury. I'm skeptical even when I hear
what does
that
that
report. That he could come back this season.
Okay, so normal ACL recovery is usually like a year, right?
Yeah, I would say a year.
Usually a year.
Yeah.
He got hurt, what was it, late June?
Yeah, right.
So a year would put you at, well, the season would be over, put you basically in the finals.
Right.
If he came back in April, that's like, what, 9-10 months? But that's even at the end of April.
Yeah.
Granted, it was a partially torn ACL.
Right,
It wasn't
right.
like a complete rupture. But
Yeah.
the surgery they do, from my knowledge,
Yeah.
is the regular surgery they do on regular ACLs. So, I mean,
Well, I'm skeptical because Kawhi Leonard doesn't exactly have he's not known for coming back early from injuries. He's someone who's always kind of taking it cautious and slow when it comes to rehab and recovery. I want to know what you guys are hearing, and if you're not hearing anything, if you can find out some intel because you're there around the Clippers, press and
I mean, I can
beat
try, but
reporters.
they're really, really tight-lipped on things like that. Especially when it comes to Kawhi, they're really, really,
course.
really, really tight-lipped on things like
But
that.
it's just like, when is he coming back? And if he does come back, if Paul George comes back, can that immediately vault this Clippers team into title contenders?
It's a team you don't. He
I
tweeted
tweeted
about
this yesterday, got the internet mad at me. But healthy Clippers team, if they play the Warriors 8th seed, which I think they probably gonna wind up being in the 8th slot or play-in slot, them versus the Warriors, give me the Clippers. I'm sorry.
Now, with Kawhi Leonard,
Yes, with Kawhi and PG, give me
Okay.
the Clippers over the Warriors.
I mean, the Clippers have a championship team. Like, if you look at, again, if you just look at the roster, right, they have everything that they can defend, they can shoot, they're balanced. Serge is looking like he's playing better. They also have Isaiah Hartenstein, who's also hurt. You have Zay. They have Zubac. They have a really, really good balanced roster.
Yeah.
Problem with them is they're just missing their stars.
right.
So if Kawhi can come back and actually be healthy, or even if he can come back and be 75% of what he was, and
Yep.
Paul George can come back and his elbow is fine, I mean, that's a team you don't want to play.
For
It's a team
sure.
that I would not want to run into in the first round. Like, if I'm, the Suns, or if I'm, like you said, the Warriors, I did all this work, put in
Yep.
all this work all season, here's your reward. You get to play two of the best players in the league.
Yeah. They may be the only team in the NBA that really could win it all if fully healthy, or they could just tank and completely miss the playoffs if Kawhi isn't coming back and PG isn't there. They're just like a complete non-starter, no threat at all.
They're in a weird spot right now.
Yeah.
I think it really just depends on health for them. They're in a really,
Right.
really, really, really weird spot. And also, I'm pretty sure they don't have their pick. I think it's with the Thunder.
Thunder.
I think it's
Yeah.
with the Thunder. I don't know if it's protected either.
Thunder has everybody's
Everybody's
pick.
pick.
Right
They have my son, who doesn't exist. Pick draft rights.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. I think their goal is to have like every pick in an entire NBA draft or something like that.
I mean,
you
they
know?
also going to be in the trade market for years, though. I mean, the stars will continue to be disgruntled, and they will continue to have the assets to trade for said star that's disgruntled.
That's true. Yeah, I'm excited to see when Oklahoma City starts putting the plan to place. They've just been in rebuild and collecting pick mode, but like, when can they start? Okay, now is our window. Now is the time. When is the plan? Because they've got a very smart front office in Oklahoma City, and they know how to draft well and find talent, but how can they start to use those assets to build a winner on the court?
I mean, they might end up in the play-in this year. Like, they're not super far away from it. I think
The West is weird. Yeah,
it's weird. Like,
for
I
sure.
think the Spurs are close to it. I think the Blazers are still in there. But if Dame isn't going to play this year, we don't know when CJ is coming back. Norman Powell just entered the protocols.
Yep.
So you don't know what's going on with. I mean, they might be in the play-in this year. Like,
Yeah.
that's the one thing I do like about the play-in. It gives a lot of teams hope.
That's true.
Like, it gives teams that, maybe you were 5 games below 500.
Yep.
If this was 5 years ago, you were like, oh, well, whatever.
Yep.
Now, if you're 5 games below 500, we think, hey, man, we got to win one game, win the next game. We might at least get to the playoffs.
Yeah.
And that's experience for your young players that they might not have gotten otherwise. So, I mean, they might make the play-in. You know? So I would say they're putting the plan in motion. They just have to fully see what they have.
Right. All right. Well, a lot of the league is like looking to see what they have right now. I mentioned the Atlanta Hawks earlier. They're 12th in the East, but
who I actually saw play yesterday.
Yeah.
I think basically a report came out again today that John Collins is frustrated with his role, and I kind of understand why. Granted, I don't watch the Hawks every day, but the way they were featuring Gallo yesterday was like, why are you featuring Gallo so much in the offense?
Yeah.
Why? John Collins had like 6 points up to the third quarter, but it wasn't because he wasn't missing. It wasn't because he was missing shots. They weren't running offense for him.
Yep.
So I think just Atlanta and then also with Atlanta, there was even a compilation of Trae Young doing the Lakers game when Avery Bradley had all those points. It was because of Trae Young. Like, he kept getting lost. You have a star who doesn't really defend, which kind of sets a bad precedent for the rest of your team.
Yeah.
Also, if your point guard, who's the point of attack, doesn't defend,
Yeah, right.
So,
right.
yeah.
Well, but their playoff hopes are still alive because that play-in tournament,
game.
12th place, you still can, they're a team that you don't want to face in a play-in game.
Because you got Trae Young.
Or an 8 seed, exactly. Someone who can take over and turn it on, and they were able to make it all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals last year. And we'll see if they do get in the Ben Simmons sweepstakes and try to shake it up a little
I can understand why. I think that, getting Trae off ball, getting
and improve on defense.
Yeah. And just like getting Trae somebody else who can handle the ball and create offense for him.
Right.
Because right now the Hawks really don't have that. Like, they really don't have another ball handler who can create offense. So, and I think, is this the last year of Cam's contract? Cam got picked 4 years ago, right?
I think it might be,
Or is it 3 years? No, Cam got picked 3 years ago.
Okay.
But they're probably not going to, re-up him. I would
Right.
assume. They haven't even really been using him, so opportunity they probably want to
True.
flip him. And
Yep.
yeah, so we'll see.
Yep. Well, that'll be interesting, too, for sure. A lot going on in the NBA, and a big week ahead. There's some really big games on the schedule. Tonight, the Milwaukee Bucks take on the Charlotte Hornets. Milwaukee dominated the Brooklyn Nets on Friday, but then came back the next night and lost to the Charlotte Hornets. So they have a rematch, playing the second time in 3 days against Charlotte. So that should be a good one. Also, we got Kyrie Irving in his second game of the season tonight in Portland.
I was wondering that.
Against the Blazers. So Kyrie should be suiting up for the Nets tonight, and that should be a good one on the road. Also, some big games this week. The Nets take on the Chicago Bulls.
Why is that game weirdly timed? It's like 9 p.m. Central. It's like 9 p.m. Central time. Like, who does that?
I don't know. Weird. I'm not sure about that. Why
it's on TV, but that's the second
But what
game.
day, though?
Huh?
What
Thursday,
day?
I think it's Thursday. Wednesday,
Then that's
Thursday.
why, because football is over now. So now they've been waiting for football to
Makes sense.
end to bring back NBA on TNT on Thursday.
That makes sense.
So
Yeah,
you want
exactly.
to put that matchup as the marquee matchup.
That makes
tonight.
sense. That makes sense.
That's a good one, too, and Kyrie should be playing that game in Chicago. We also have a potential finals preview when the Golden State Warriors go to Milwaukee to
I just
take
hope
on the
everyone's
Bucks.
healthy. I just hope everyone's healthy.
Yeah.
I just really hope everyone's on the court healthy. No, y'all don't go out that week.
Right,
Sit at
right.
home.
Yeah.
Sit in the hotel.
Well, it's
I
going to
just
be
hope
hard
everyone's healthy
because
for that
Golden
game.
State, that game's on Thursday, but on Tuesday, Golden State goes into Memphis to take on the
Be a good game,
Grizzlies
too.
in Memphis. That
Be a
should be
good
a great
game, too.
game. So the Warriors have some big tests this week. They got Clay back. Draymond's been out. He started last night, but he ceremoniously started and then fouled and came out, didn't play in the game at all, which, by the way, if any of you bet on sports, you could bet.
He played him in fantasy yesterday.
Oh, man, you could bet on Draymond.
Bro, that's what I just thought about that. I
played
was
him in
wondering
fantasy
why I got
yesterday.
smoked. I'm like, yo, he gonna go out versus Evan Mobley
played
and
him in
have him a
fantasy yesterday.
game.
You
I
played him
literally
in
was like, if
fantasy
Draymond
yesterday.
scored 40, I might be able to win today. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, he
I'm-
suited up. He was in the lineup.
Bro,
He played
they,
4 seconds.
See, this is why I don't like the one fantasy game a week thing.
It's tough.
That's why I like it though.
Yeah,
I don't.
By the way,
know.
what's going on in our fantasy league? Can we talk about
Good
this?
question.
You wanna talk about it? I can
my
give-
team,
give
I
a
was
quick
taking on
recap.
the first place team last week, and I was winning
And you
all
lost.
week long.
And what
I
happened?
So-
lost.
How?
I can read out the current standings.
I
if you want
lost
me to.
because I started guys on the wrong night is the problem.
Let me see.
You know, it's like I got even Jokic. I started him when he got 35 fantasy points. The other games, 50, 44,
game did you play Jokic
38.
for?
I played him against Dallas. I was like, who's going to guard him on Dallas? He's going to kill it. He had 27 points, 16 boards, 3 assists, 2 steals. That's pretty
How
good.
many
But for
turnovers did he have?
Jokic, not good. He had 3 turnovers that game. Yeah, I mean, I just picked the wrong games, which was what did me in, and that's what's tough about the sleeper
Yeah,
app.
you should have picked Morris against Memphis. I think Memphis was the day he turned on.
Yeah, he turned on. Like I put Marcus Morris in there, and
you should have picked Bane
game.
against anybody. Just fantasy.
Yeah.
Anybody who plays the Lakers, play them.
Yeah, no, I know.
Play them.
Yeah.
You picked. Yeah. You just picked some of the wrong.
I picked the wrong games, and literally I pick one of these guys a better game, and I win the week against the best team in the league, and that's what's been doing me in. I've got my record is only 6-6.
6-6. You're 8th in the league currently. Pavy is currently 7-5 at 4, and BD is currently in 6th place at 7-5. I'm currently 13th place at 4-8.
Yeah,
I told you don't make that trade,
It's not the trade that did me in. I was 3-5 when I made the trade.
and then you lost.
I'm 1-3 since I made the trade. It is what it is, bro. They got COVID. Draymond Green fucking checked in the game and slapped the man's arm and then left. So he was minus a point.
for the foul.
For the foul.
Oh,
Yes, bro. Like, what the fuck?
Wow.
I'm
That's
sorry.
amazing.
Excuse my language, but come on, man.
On
It ain't nothing I can do
sports
about
gambling
that.
sites, you could bet on Draymond yesterday, his over/under all of his totals. And if you ever bet on a guy
That's
and they
why
don't
people were
suit
so
up,
mad.
and they don't suit up, it's void, and you get your money
he
back. The
suited
bet
up.
doesn't count. But he started. He played and he started. So all bets were on, and obviously he had 0 points, 0 assists, 0 rebounds.
And a
So
foul.
if you bet the under on anything Draymond Green yesterday, it was the easiest bet and the easiest winnings you ever had. So some people were happy, some...
Yeah, I saw people tweeting about that. Like, yo, Draymond Green messed up my whole card.
Yeah, for sure, big time, because they set the lines pretty low too. I wish I would have known about that. I definitely would have
Played the under.
take the under on that one. We would be, I'd be eating better. I'd be drinking something besides.
Can we
this
talk
Canadian
non-NBA just so we're here because
Yeah.
we're here and we talk fantasy?
Yeah.
By the way, came up in 4th in our Who Got Game Fantasy League football
Yes.
championship. I beat you in the playoffs. I just want to remind
You
people
did,
of that.
yes, thank you. Yeah.
Should the should the Los Angeles Chargers last night have gone for the tie, or did you respect the timeout by the coach, the Rams coach? I'm sorry, the Chargers
The
coach.
Chargers
my bad.
coach.
Yes.
Well, hindsight's 20/20, or 50/50, whatever the hell the saying is. But I feel like clearly, if they tied, they're in the playoffs, and they lost the game. So I respect him for going for it, but if you look back at it, no, they should not have called that timeout because a tie is like a win for them. They're in the playoffs, and now they're not.
I mean, it depends on how you want to go into it, right? Like, do you want to back in or do you want to, like, run in?
I don't give a
You
damn
play-
about
wait,
backing
listen,
in. They
you're
were
in.
30 seconds away.
But listen, though, you play to win the game.
The Raiders, but even David Carr basically said they didn't plan on trying to get the field goal to win the game. They was just gonna let the clock run out.
That's fair, but you play to win the game.
Like, they still had a timeout left. It was 30 seconds left. The Chargers had a timeout left, and then the Chargers called the timeout. But the Raiders, I think, still had a timeout left. They were just letting the clock run down.
Interesting.
And they were technically, it would have been like a 53-yard field goal
Right.
versus a 47-yard field goal.
Yeah.
And they both would have made the playoffs in the same conference.
Crazy.
Sorry,
it's
man.
wild. I mean,
Yeah.
it really
it's
worked
also your
out.
division rival, though, so it's like,
Look, I don't care. I see you in the playoffs.
Right.
would they have played the next
They
week?
wouldn't have played.
Nah, they
against
wouldn't have played each
no,
other, but I
no.
mean, maybe. Who knows?
Yeah, well, it worked out perfectly for the NFL. The first ever Week 18, adding this extra week and this wrinkle, this was kind of a dream scenario where the best game of the entire regular season probably was that Sunday Night Football game.
Yeah.
It was a playoff game, winning you're in, and even with this rare situation and circumstance that if they tie, they both are in, and the Pittsburgh Steelers are out. So the fate of 3 different franchises seasons were on the line with that last second kick in overtime. So, I mean, that's pretty much a dream scenario for the NFL. And that's why leagues take chances, try to mix things up, and it worked out pretty well for them. I'm excited for the postseason. I know we talk basketball here, but why don't we just keep it on the NFL for a second? Who do you think is going to be the Super Bowl matchup this year?
I'll be honest with you, I have zero idea. I checked out of football.
That's right.
as
You
soon as the
didn't
NBA
win a
came
single
back.
week in fantasy
Nah,
football.
no, actually, that's not true.
You won
I
one?
did win one game.
Wow.
I won one game. I won
feel
one.
bad
I
for
won
whoever you
exactly
beat.
one
In
game.
the
'cause Joe
playoffs,
Burrow
too.
went crazy.
In the playoffs.
Wow,
Yes,
he did.
Because Joe
Well,
Burrow
well,
went
in the
crazy.
toilet
the
bowl.
consolation
Toilet
bracket.
bowl.
Yeah, yeah,
The
yeah.
toilet bowl.
So I'm gonna be honest with you. I have zero idea.
All right.
I don't know. I'm not even gonna attempt to even make a pick.
Fair
I
enough.
don't even know who in the playoffs. Keep it with you.
Okay.
I'm gonna just say Tom Brady.
Tom. All right,
Bucks.
that's fair. Tampa Bay. TP. What do you think?
I think Tom Brady, if Tom Brady makes it to the Super Bowl this year, I don't even know what to say about the man anymore. Like I'll run out of words to describe him because technically the first round, if they win their matchup, then they have to play the Green Bay Packers, who's the number one team. Aaron Rodgers is probably going to be back-to-back MVPs. If Tom Brady goes into Green Bay and wins in Green Bay, I like, how do you even quantify that? Like, in terms of just what he's done. I looked yesterday. He still threw for 4,000 yards and 41 touchdowns this year.
That's
and
crazy.
only 12 interceptions. I think 11 to 12 interceptions. You know how insane that is, bro?
That's crazy.
It is like Julio Franco. He played for the Atlanta Braves into his 40s, I believe, until he was like 45, 46. He was a mediocre like bench rotation player.
Right.
Tom Brady is still arguably top 5,
An
top
MVP,
3,
an MVP in this league
and,
still.
Exactly. It's insane. So
All right, so who's your pick for the Super Bowl?
my pick for the Super Bowl is whoever wins that game, and I'm going to go with them versus the Rams because I just think the Rams.
Well, they're
Rams.
both in the NFC, so that
They are in the NFC?
Yeah,
What the
yeah.
hell?
I thought the Rams in the AFC.
No.
Never mind.
Why would you think that?
Because I don't be caring that much.
All right,
about
all right.
it.
So
okay,
you-
no,
so-
but still, conference finals. I'm probably gonna take Packers versus Rams,
Okay.
and then I'll probably I think Chiefs versus Titans.
Okay, well, all right, so you're going, wow, really bold there. Going with
Chiefs
the number
versus-
1 seed and the number 2 seed in the AFC.
Yeah,
and then,
but
you're going.
Wait, what?
But I said I'm going Bucks versus Rams, but that's only because if the Bucks not Bucks versus Rams. Packers versus Rams.
Yeah.
But I'm only going Packers versus Rams instead of Bucks versus Rams because Tom Brady has to travel to Lambeau Field in the second round and play in the cold in order to come out victorious and get to the conference final. I don't believe that's going to happen. I think Aaron Rodgers and the Packers are going to be comfortable. They'll wind up going to the conference championship. And then I think in the AFC, I think Patrick Mahomes is going to show us that he hasn't fallen off, even though I've been making fun of him all season saying he fell off. And I also think that just in terms of looking at the whole landscape of the AFC, it's still fairly wide open. But Derrick Henry's back for the Titans, correct?
I believe he's coming back.
The Patriots beat the Bills running like 45 straight times. Who the fuck gonna stop Derrick Henry if they just decide that they want to use him as an option? I don't think there's any defense in the AFC that's strong enough to stop them. I think the best defenses are in the NFC. So I know I know that might be like, a safe pick, but it's just being like, who's the best team in the league right now? I'm asking you.
In the NFL?
Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, the Packers are the favorite to win it all right now. They're the Vegas odds-on favorite. They're the number 1 seed, best record. So
yeah, I mean, you got
guess you'd
AD
have to say
stripping
the
his clothes
Packers.
off. The Bucks are in flux. Goodwin is hurt, I believe, right? Evans had a good game yesterday.
Godwin,
I'm sorry, Godwin. I keep pronouncing his name Goodwin. My bad.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it should be an exciting NFL postseason because there is no one clear-cut team or favorite. The Packers, the Chiefs, the Titans, the Bucks, the Rams, the Bengals, the Bills, all these teams could make a run, and others that I didn't even mention. So that's what'll make it exciting. It's all the one and done of NFL
I won't even act for him.
postseason.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
He could have acted for him.
It should be good. It should be good. It should be exciting. Mixing a little football with all the NBA basketball, and we're getting to an exciting part in the NBA season where the trade deadline is just a month away. The NBA All-Star Game is coming up in a few weeks. It'll be the week after the Super Bowl. So that's going to be 5 weeks away or whatever. A lot to look forward to, and teams starting to get into the groove now. We're in 2022, figuring it out, and the contenders separated themselves from the pretenders, and we'll see who's for real and who isn't. So it should be good. I don't
going
know.
to Cleveland? For the
I
All-Star
will
game?
be at the All-Star Game for sure. Yeah, of course. I was there in 1997. It was the 50th anniversary of the NBA,
It's
the
first
50
All-Star game I
greatest
remember watching.
players.
That's the first game I
I was there as a
watching.
little kid. I was there with my dad up in the nosebleed seats, and I went to the Fan Fest, and I was
Dope.
just like a kid in a candy store. I loved it. It was like the greatest weekend and experience of my life. And now I'm honored and blessed that 25 years later, I will be there, and the NBA hired me. I'll be the official host and MC of the Fan Fest.
Dope, number one.
Yeah, thank you,
Congratulations
thank
on
you.
that. That's incredible.
Yeah.
2, did you like when teams, when the players just wore their team
Their own
jerseys?
team jersey?
Or do you like the All-Star uniforms?
Um,
And if you like the All-Star uniforms, which All-Star uniforms were your favorite?
That was a good 4 questions you just asked me there.
It was
I like
a whole
it,
bunch of
but
questions.
I did like the. Watch this. I did like The 95.
Okay.
The 95 All-Star game.
Okay.
That's right, in Phoenix. This colorway. I also like 96, what
96
they
was
did
hard,
in
yeah.
San Antonio with like the chilies and the teal green. I like that look too. I like I think it was the 92 All-Star game in Orlando with
When they
like
had,
the big
yeah,
block letters and the
yeah.
stars.
Stars.
So like that like old school look. Like I like those old school jerseys. I didn't like the East-West jerseys when it was like in the early 2000s.
When they had, did those have sleeves?
And one of them did.
Yeah,
I didn't like
yeah,
any of
yeah,
those.
yeah.
I didn't like any of those. I like the like real old school ones. Basically anything from like the 80s, early
Like
90s.
the 80, I think 88 or 89 one.
Yeah.
The last time they had it in Chicago before
Yep.
the time they had it in Chicago.
Yeah.
Those were like
Love those. So any All-Star jerseys from the 80s or 90s up until 96, I would take those. 97 in Cleveland is when they started
Yeah,
wearing their own home team
own home team
jerseys.
jerseys.
I was cool with that too. I thought that
cool.
was cool representing it.
was
I could
cool.
see why the players wouldn't like it. It may be a little confusing, especially
Yeah.
nowadays where home teams don't always just wear white.
White,
You know,
yeah.
it's all different colors and stuff out there and get a little confusing. But I like that, and then it kind of fell off. So I like the old school, the throwback looks and jerseys
fair.
that they used to wear.
That's fair.
So yeah. That's kind of my jam, what I'm into.
That's
But
fair.
I'm pumped for 97 All-Star game in Cleveland. Now 25 years later, the 75th anniversary of the NBA, it being back there, and I'm excited for that and to be there for
Shout
it.
out that.
I just hope and pray that everyone can be there safely and gather.
For sure.
With the way that things have been going with Omicron, but. I think we're going to be good. I'm feeling optimistic about it. I think there's peaks and valleys, and hopefully that's coming at a valley at the right time. So
I am
we shall
looking
see.
forward to next year's All-Star game.
In Salt Lake City.
Yes.
Okay.
I want to go to Salt Lake City, but
Yeah.
I feel like as a black person, you got to be careful when you go to Salt Lake City. That's a
You-
great time to go to Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
All-Star weekend.
You-
I'm in Salt Lake City.
For sure. I've
sure.
been to Salt Lake City.
How is it? Did you like it?
It's nice. There are not many black people.
Yeah, I'm like,
They're
I don't,
not.
yeah,
They're not.
Yeah.
They are. They
In
play for
other
the
wo-
Utah
they
Jazz.
play for the Jazz.
yeah.
In other words, stay your ass away from there, Pavy.
But All-Star
Nah,
weekend
nah.
is a great time to go. It's going to be a
Nah.
lot of people there, experience the
You
city.
go with me. Go with your white friend. I got you.
right,
It'll be
let's
good.
go.
Yeah,
Let's go.
yeah.
Salt Lake
That's-
City.
Look, that's how black women end up dead on vacation.
yeah. What?
Pavy know what I'm talking about.
Nah. Salt Lake City's nice, but it's going to be cold. There's going to be a lot of cold All-Star games from Cleveland to Salt Lake City to Indianapolis for the next 3 All-Star games. And obviously 2020 was in Chicago. It was cold as hell
Do you
there,
know how
too. It was
the
cold.
2020 All-Star game?
Yeah, that was cold.
It was like, that's almost the coldest I've felt Chicago in a very long time. It was
Yeah.
-8 on Thursday.
Yeah, it was freezing. So hopefully after these next 3, they go to New Orleans or Miami or somewhere a little more tropical, and mix it up, get some warm weather
Yeah,
All-Star weekend.
Orlando or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know if we want to go to Orlando. Let's go to
fair.
Miami.
That's
Or
fair.
Vegas. Maybe go to Vegas. That'd be good.
Oh, my goodness.
That's right. And it's going to come back. It'll be in Vegas. Well, a lot to look forward to, a lot of All-Star games, All-Star weekends. We'll be here next week. We got a special guest coming in for our next Who Got Game, so make sure to be here same time, same place, and make sure to follow myself, Jay-Z Fish, Pavy's World. That's right.
P-A-V-Y World, all one word.
Pavy World. I am Baron Davis, and SLiC on IG, Twitter, all your social media handles and platforms. Thank you for being here for another edition of Who Got Game. Stay safe, everybody. Stay out of those protocols. We'll see you soon.